You've probably heard this before. If you've got a problem, just talk to someone. It's good advice, and sometimes getting things off your chest feels great at the moment. But what happens after you've spilled your guts, shared every little detail, and let out your frustrations? Usually, not much. The harsh truth is that most people don't care about your problems as much as you think they do. It's not that people are heartless or uncaring, it's just that everyone's dealing with their own stuff. Everyone's got their own stuff going on, and they're usually too wrapped up in their own lives to really care about yours. When you share your problems, it's easy to think they're really listening and feeling what you feel, hoping their understanding will help. But honestly, most of the time, they'll just give you a few words of sympathy or advice and then go about their day. Your huge problem to you is just a blip on their radar. It's not that people don't care, it's just that they can't care as much as you do because they're not experiencing it themselves. You might think talking about your problems will help lighten the load, but usually, once the conversation is over, you're still dealing with the same issue. The problem's still there, and you still feel the weight of it. Sometimes, sharing your troubles can even make you feel worse. You can feel really alone, especially when people don't seem to get how intense your feelings are. You might find yourself wondering, don't they understand? Can't they see how much this is hurting me? But honestly, no one can truly know what you're experiencing but you. Your pain, your frustration, your struggles, they're all yours alone. That said, it doesn't mean you should keep everything to yourself, or that sharing your feelings is a bad thing. There's a right time and place for everything, and sometimes it really helps to talk to a close friend or someone you trust. A family member can offer good advice, but there's a big difference between asking for help and expecting someone to take all your burdens. When you start counting on others to fix your problems or make you feel better, you give up your own strength. You put your emotional health in someone else's hands, and that can be a dangerous spot to be in. People are unpredictable. They've got their own lives and priorities, and more often than not, they won't be there for you the way you really need them to be. Not because they don't care, but just because life gets in the way. You might not want to, but sometimes you just can't help it. One of the tough lessons in life is that, at the end of the day, you're the one in charge of your own happiness, success, and peace. No one else is going to do that work for you. Sure, it might feel good to share your struggles with others, but that won't create the change you need. Real change and progress come from within. It's all about tackling your problems directly, without needing approval or pity from others. When you stop seeking validation from people, when you face your problems, something changes. You start to see how strong you really are and lean on yourself more. You stop waiting for someone else to solve things for you and take charge instead. That's where real growth happens, when you choose to take care of your own mess without looking for anyone's okay or tips. It's in those quiet, tough moments when no one else is around that you build resilience, grit, and character. Plus, there's a level of self-respect that comes from doing it on your own. Sharing your problems with everyone can feel tempting, but when you keep your struggles to yourself, you hold on to your dignity. It shows that you can deal with life's challenges without putting them on show. Sure, it's easy to want to talk about every tough time with others, but there's a certain strength in keeping some things to yourself. Not everything has to be shared, and not every struggle needs to turn into a story. People usually care more about the good stuff in your life than the tough times. People are quick to cheer you on when you succeed, but take their time to be there for you when you're down. That's just how people are, and it's not always a bad thing. It just means you need to be careful about who you open up to about your struggles, if you choose to share at all. Most folks aren't really prepared to deal with your issues, and expecting them to be there for you might just let you down. This doesn't mean you should isolate yourself or never ask for help. Sometimes, reaching out for support is exactly what you need. The thing is, No one's going to care about your problems the way you do. Your pain, frustration, and challenges are yours to deal with. The quicker you stop waiting for others to fix things for you, the sooner you'll see how strong and capable you really are. So instead of just talking about your problems, start figuring out solutions. Use the energy you'd spend complaining to actually make progress. Focus on what you can control and let go of needing others to help. Validation is important because, at the end of the day, the only one who can really get you through tough times is yourself. Once you accept that, you'll realize you're stronger, more capable, and tougher than you ever thought. Complaining is one of those habits that seems like it helps us vent and express our frustrations with life when things don't go our way. We all do it sometimes. It's totally normal to feel overwhelmed, stressed, or upset when things aren't going the way we want. It's easy to get caught up in venting about your frustrations, but here's the reality: complaining doesn't solve anything. It never has, and it never will. Think about those times you've been in a tough spot, whether it's work stress, a relationship issue, or just the daily grind getting to you. You vent and feel a bit lighter for a moment, but once the words are out, what really changes? The situation stays the same. The problem remains. The reason you started complaining in the first place is still there, and you've got to deal with it. Complaining might give you a little relief for a moment, but it's just a quick fix. The problem with complaining is that it wastes your energy. Instead of putting your time and feelings into finding a solution, you're just stuck worrying about what's wrong. It's like being caught in quicksand. Complaining only drags you down further. Complaining about negative feelings doesn't really help you find a way out. The more you gripe, the more you convince yourself that the problem is too huge, too tough, or too unfair to deal with. In a lot of ways, complaining is just being passive. It doesn't take any real effort or action. That's why it's so tempting to do. When you complain, you're basically giving up your ability to change things. Whether you see it or not, you're admitting that you're stuck. And instead of taking action, you're just choosing to stay that way. When you keep dwelling on something, it just turns into a never-ending loop. The more you complain, the more helpless you feel, and the less likely you are to actually do something about it. Let's be clear though, there's a big difference between venting and complaining. Venting is a way to let out all those bottled up feelings, and if you do it every once in a while and in the right situation, it can really help. Talking to a close friend or family member who actually listens and supports you can give you the emotional release you need. But venting should be a temporary release. Isn't something you should get used to. It should lead to taking action. If all you do is vent without actually tackling the underlying issue, you're just complaining. When we complain, we're giving up our responsibility and blaming outside factors like our boss, our partner, the economy, the weather, anything but ourselves. Complaining lets us avoid taking responsibility. But here's the deal. While you can't control everything that happens to you, you can always control how you react. Complaining isn't helpful. It's just an emotional response that keeps you stuck in a situation you don't like. The most successful people, those really thriving in their personal and professional lives, don't waste time complaining. They know that complaining just distracts them from making progress. Instead, they concentrate on finding solutions. They acknowledge the problem, sure, but then they quickly focus on what they can do to fix it. They don't just whine about their struggles like everyone else. Instead of wasting time feeling sorry for themselves, they take action. Action is what really changes things. When you run into a problem, big or small, the only thing that really makes a difference is what you do about it. Complaining just keeps you stuck, while taking action pushes you closer to a solution. The truth is, a lot of the issues we gripe about are things we can actually control. We just don't want to admit it because taking action takes work and it's hard. It's usually easier to gripe than to actually put in the effort. Think about your own life. What do you complain about the most? Is it your job, your relationship, or money issues? Now, ask yourself if you've done anything real to change those things, or if you've just spent more time complaining. If you're being honest, you'll probably realize you've put more energy into whining than fixing the problem. But here's the good news. Every complaint is a chance to take action. Whenever you catch yourself complaining, it's a sign that something needs to change and you have the power to make that change happen. Taking action doesn't mean you have to fix everything overnight. Some problems are complicated and take time to sort out. The important thing is to just get started. Instead of whining, ask yourself, what can I do about this right now? It could be something small, like sending an email, making a call, or shifting your mindset. But even those little steps can build momentum. And once you start heading toward a solution, you'll see progress. When we feel the urge to complain, it usually means we're feeling a bit lost or out of control. We vent because we're frustrated and want things to change, but we often don't know how to make that happen. The good news is, you're never totally powerless. You always have some say in how things go, even if it's just about how you look at them. When you stop whining and start owning your life, you take back your power. In the end, complaining doesn't help. Complaining doesn't solve anything and just keeps you stuck in negativity, waiting for things to change on their own. But when you stop whining and start taking action, everything changes. You go from just going with the flow in your own life to actually taking charge, and that's where the real progress happens. It's not about the complaints, it's about what you do afterward. Everyone faces their own challenges in life. No one gets out of hardships. Life's circumstances can change, and we all deal with different situations. But the truth is, we all hit rough patches at various points in our lives. It's easy to see our struggles as unfair or as obstacles meant to knock us down, but there's another way to look at it. Your challenges are like personal tests. They're not just random. They're there to shape you, mold you, and ultimately make you stronger. They're part of your journey to help you become who you're meant to be. Think of it like this. Just like a student can't graduate without taking tests, you can't reach your highest potential without facing tough times. The challenges aren't there to break you. They're there to help you grow. Life doesn't throw struggles at you because it's mean. It gives them to you because they're exactly what you need to push your boundaries and discover what you're really capable of. Struggles make you dig deeper and find strength you didn't even know you had. You know, you have to go through some tough times to learn lessons you might not get otherwise. It's super easy to get bogged down by negative feelings like fear, frustration, and doubt when you're facing challenges. Those emotions can really cloud your judgment during hard times. But even though they feel intense, they don't change the fact that struggling is a crucial part of growing. Every successful person you admire has gone through major struggles at some point. They didn't hit their goals by dodging tough times. They got there by facing them head on. They went after their goals because they accepted the challenge. They realized that the struggle was their personal test, a way to prove to themselves and to life that they deserved what they were aiming for. When you hit a rough patch, it's a moment to decide. You can see it as unfair and let it get you down, or you can view it as a chance to step up. The reality is, how you deal with your struggles shows your true character. It reveals who you really are. Anyone can smile and stay positive when things are good, but it's how you deal with the tough times that really shapes who you are. That's why your struggles are your own personal tests. they reveal what you're really made of. The beauty of struggling is that it pushes you to face the parts of yourself that need to change. It's easy to stay in your comfort zone and ignore the things in your life that aren't working. But when struggles hit, they highlight the areas you need to work on. You might have been dodging a tough decision or caught up in a loop of self-doubt. But struggles won't let you stay in that comfort zone. They'll push you to your breaking point until you have to choose to change, adapt, and rise up. Here's the deal. Life won't throw anything at you that you can't handle. The challenges you face are meant just for you. They're your own personal tests aimed at helping you grow in the areas where you really need it. What someone else is dealing with might be totally different, but that's because their challenges are meant for them, just like yours are for you. You might feel like life's being unfair, like you're getting more than your fair share of struggles, but honestly, those challenges are exactly what you need to get stronger, wiser, and tougher. Think about it. You don't build strength without some resistance. In the gym, you lift weights to build muscle, and the heavier the weight, the more your muscles have to grow. It's the same idea. In life, the tougher the struggle, the bigger the chance for growth. Challenges push you to grow and help you handle more. Each time you get past a tough situation, you boost your confidence for the next one. You realize you're more capable than you thought. With every struggle you face, you come out stronger and better equipped for what's next in life. It's also crucial to remember that your personal challenges are part of that journey. It's not fair to compare yourself to anyone else. These days, it's super easy to get caught up in comparing your life to the highlight reels of others, especially on social media. You see folks who seem to be living perfect lives. No struggles, no hardships, just smooth sailing. But that's all an illusion. Everyone has their own battles. The difference is that some people have figured out how to embrace their struggles as part of their journey, while others are still pushing against them. Your struggles are uniquely yours, are designed to help you shine, and comparing yourself to others will just pull you away from the lessons they're meant to teach. The real challenge isn't about dodging struggles or making them go away. It's about whether you can tough it out and come out stronger. Will you let the tough times bring you down, or will you let them help you grow? Will you fight against the lesson, or will you accept it? These are the questions life throws at you when times get tough. In the end, no one else can take this test for you. You can ask for advice and seek support, but the work is yours. The transformation is yours to experience. When you pass the test and overcome the struggle, you don't just get through it, you grow from it. You come out stronger, more capable, and more in tune with who you're meant to be. So next time you're facing a tough time, remember, it's not meant to break you. It's there to challenge you, to push you, and to reveal the strength and greatness within you. The struggle you're going through is a personal test, and getting through it is how you become the person you were always meant to be. Growth is a big part of life, whether it's about personal development, reaching goals, or building resilience. It's at the heart of everything we do to better ourselves. But the process of growing isn't exactly smooth or easy. In fact, real growth usually happens when we're uncomfortable. It's during those times when we're pushed and challenged beyond what we know and feel comfortable with that we really grow. Honestly, turning discomfort into something positive, no matter how tough it seems, is really what helps us grow. It's totally natural to want to avoid pain, struggle, or stress, and we gravitate towards routines because they make us feel safe and comfortable. But while comfort zones might feel nice in the moment, they can really hold you back in the long run. Sticking to your comfort zone just keeps you the same, makes you dodge new challenges, and limits what you can achieve. On the flip side, discomfort pushes you to adapt and grow. Change, and face the parts of yourself that need it. Think about a time you really grew in your life. Was it easy? Probably not. Maybe it was when you started a new job and felt totally lost, unsure of yourself and overwhelmed by what you didn't know. Or maybe it was when you dealt with a personal challenge, like overcoming a fear, handling a loss, or managing a tough relationship. Those moments probably felt uncomfortable, maybe even unbearable at times, but they were important. Moments that make you grow can be tough. Comfort acts like a mirror, showing us where we need to step up and where we're holding ourselves back. It points out our insecurities, fears, and limits. Facing that stuff isn't easy, but it's necessary. When you're in your comfort zone, you're kind of forced to deal with the areas you need to improve. You're pushed beyond what you know and what feels safe. That's where real growth happens, not in the safety of your comfort zone, but in the stretch of discomfort. Just think about physical fitness. Think of it like this. If you want to build muscle, you can't just stick to light weights that are a breeze to lift. You need to up the weight and really push your limits. That's when tiny tears happen in your muscle fibers. It's when your body repairs those tears that the muscles actually grow. The same idea goes for personal growth. You won't grow by just sticking to what you know or staying in your comfort zone. Real growth means challenging yourself. Push yourself to go beyond what's comfortable, even if it means feeling a little broken before you can come back stronger. But why do we push back against discomfort? It's because it feels like a threat. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, which makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint. It helped keep our ancestors safe. But today, discomfort usually isn't a physical danger. It's more of an emotional or psychological one. And while the discomfort that comes with growth can feel scary, it's not something to run away from. Don't be afraid of discomfort. It's something to welcome. On the other side of feeling uneasy is the person you're meant to be. Growth and discomfort go hand in hand. They teach you resilience. When you face challenges, discomfort is unavoidable, whether it's dealing with failure, rejection, or setbacks. These experiences push you to your limits. But every time you get through them, you get stronger. You show yourself that you can handle tough times, that discomfort won't defeat you, and that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. That kind of mental toughness is invaluable. What keeps you going when things get tough? Discomfort actually sparks creativity and innovation. When everything's easy, there's no reason to change. You're just cruising along doing the same old thing. But when you hit a rough patch, you have to think outside the box. You're pushed to come up with new ideas and be innovative. A lot of the greatest inventions, artworks, and breakthroughs in history came from dealing with discomfort. It's that pressure that really drives people. Thinking outside the box and coming up with something fresh is one thing. But dealing with discomfort really teaches you humility and empathy. When you face tough times, you start to realize you don't have all the answers. You become more down to earth because you see your own limits, and you develop empathy since you know what it's like to struggle. Growing through tough experiences softens your ego and helps you connect better with others. It's a reminder that everyone's dealing with their own challenges, creating a sense of shared experience. One of the biggest things holding us back is the fear of failing. It's uncomfortable to think about not succeeding, making mistakes, or falling short. But honestly, failure is a crucial part of growing. If you never fail, it just means you're playing it too safe. And if you're not taking risks, you're not really growing. Discomfort and failure go hand in hand, but both are super important for making progress. Every time you mess up, you pick up something valuable. Each lesson gets you closer to where you want to be. Growth is all about building confidence. It might seem a bit weird, but the more you push yourself into uncomfortable situations, the more confident you get. Every time you step out of your comfort zone and succeed, you prove to yourself that you can handle it. And even when things don't go your way, just the fact that you tried helps build your confidence over time. You start to trust yourself more, knowing you can deal with whatever life throws at you. The trick to growing through discomfort is to face it head-on instead of running away from it. Discomfort is actually a sign that you're growing. It means you're taking on challenges and pushing yourself beyond your usual limits. Instead of running back to what's comfortable, try to lean into that discomfort. Ask yourself what it's trying to teach you. Often, discomfort highlights exactly what you need to learn to keep moving forward. This doesn't mean you should go looking for tough situations just for fun, but when life throws discomfort your way, and it will, embrace it as part of your journey. Growth is a journey. It's not about complicating things, it's about realizing that when things get tough, it's actually a chance for you to grow. Growth and discomfort go hand in hand. You can't really have one without the other. So, the next time you're in an awkward situation, keep in mind that it's an opportunity to learn and improve. Embrace it, take lessons from it, and remember that on the other side of that unease, you'll come out stronger, wiser, and more capable. In our fast-paced world, noise and distractions are everywhere, and we often overlook the importance of silence. But silence is key to personal growth and figuring ourselves out. It's in those quiet moments that we can actually think and feel our emotions, and that's where we find our strength. However, just having that strength isn't enough. We need to take action. While silence helps us become resilient and clear-headed, it's action that moves us forward. Finding the right balance between being silent and taking action is crucial for real growth and success. Silence gives us the space to. In the craziness of everyday life, it's easy to forget who we really are and what we want. Taking some time for silence gives us a chance to think, meditate, and really hear ourselves. When we embrace silence, we set up a safe space for our thoughts and feelings, away from all the outside noise. In that quiet, we can really look at our emotions, beliefs, and dreams without the world messing with our heads. This kind of self-reflection is super important for finding our strength. By understanding ourselves better, we become tougher when facing challenges. Taking some time in silence helps us deal with our fears, doubts, and insecurities. It's during these quiet moments that we can sort through our feelings and get our heads straight for what's coming up. When we recognize our weaknesses in silence, we build a better sense of self-awareness that boosts our emotional strength. Plus, silence helps us be more patient in a world that often thinks being busy equals being successful. We can easily lose sight of that. The power of waiting and reflecting teaches us to be patient, letting our thoughts simmer and ideas grow. It shows us that not everything needs an instant response. Sometimes, stepping back is the best way to move ahead. This patience is crucial in a world that often wants quick results. When we embrace patience in silence, we get ready to make more thoughtful and careful decisions. But just being silent isn't enough, even though it helps us build the strength we need. To be resilient, you need to take action to turn your potential into real progress. Once we find clarity and strength in those quiet moments, the next step is to put that understanding into action. Action is what connects our intentions to reality. It's through taking action that we turn our ideas and dreams into real results. Every big achievement starts with just one step. It's not enough to just sit quietly and think about what we want. We have to take the steps needed to make those thoughts happen. Taking action can be the toughest part of the whole process. It takes guts, determination, and a bit of stepping out of our comfort zones. A lot of folks have great ideas and dreams, but don't act on them because they're scared, doubt themselves, or just keep putting things off. That's where the strength we build in quiet moments really matters. When we take the time to figure ourselves out and know what drives us, we can tap into that inner strength to break through the obstacles that hold us back from moving forward. Taking action builds confidence. When we take even the smallest steps towards our goals, we boost our self-belief. Each action we take creates momentum and sets off a cycle of progress that motivates us to keep going. The more we act, the more confident we become, making us more ready to tackle new challenges. This positive cycle is key to our growth. Plus, taking action helps us learn and adapt, while staying quiet gives us time to reflect and plan. EXP gives us real-world experiences. When we take action, we collect data on what works and what doesn't. This info is super valuable. It helps us fine-tune our approach, make changes, and get closer to our goals. Failures are part of the journey, and it's by taking action that we learn to deal with setbacks. Each failure teaches us something that builds our strength and resilience. Also, finding the right balance between being quiet and taking action is key. Too much silence without doing anything can just lead to getting stuck. It's super easy to get stuck in a cycle of overthinking, trying to analyze every possible outcome without actually making any progress. On the flip side, jumping into action without the solid grounding that comes from some quiet reflection can lead to hasty decisions that don't really match what we truly want or value. This kind of imbalance can leave us feeling frustrated, burned out, or full of regret. To really tap into the benefits of both silence and action, we need to learn how to switch between the two. It's important to set aside some time for silence, whether that's through meditation, journaling, or just hanging out by ourselves. Take some time for yourself out in nature. Use those moments to think about your goals, figure out what drives you, and build the inner strength you need to bounce back. Once you feel balanced and stable, start taking action. Begin with small, doable steps that match your goals. As you gain momentum, you'll start to feel more confident, and each little win will push you to tackle bigger challenges. Just keep in mind that progress isn't always a straight shot. It can be a winding journey with ups and downs. There will be times when sometimes you need to step back and take a breather to get your head straight, and other times you've got to dive in and take action. It's all about finding that balance. Both quiet moments and taking charge are super important on your journey. Silence helps you build strength, while action pushes you forward. By appreciating both in our lives, we can empower ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves. So, make sure to carve out some quiet time to listen to your inner voice, then use that strength to move forward. Take action with this strong combo. You can push through challenges, reach your goals, and build a life that shows your true potential. It's in the mix of quiet and action that we find the strength to rise, the courage to do something, and the grit to keep moving forward. Your journey is one of a kind. It's a path that only you can walk. Everyone's life is filled with unique experiences, choices, and lessons that shape who they are. This personal journey isn't just about where you end up. It's all about the ups and downs and the struggles along the way. Embracing the ups and downs of your personal journey can be really freeing. It lets you concentrate on your own path without getting swayed by what others expect or how you stack up against them. From the moment we're born, we start carving out our own way. Our family and surroundings heavily influence our early experiences and viewpoints. But as we get older, we face choices that can take us in all sorts of directions. Some folks might stick to the traditional path. Some people stick to what society expects, while others take the leap into the unknown, trying to create their own paths. Both ways are totally valid. Understanding that your journey is your own means embracing the choices you make along the way. Life throws challenges and obstacles at us all the time. These tough moments, even if they're uncomfortable, often end up being the biggest push for growth. Every struggle you encounter is a unique experience that shapes your personal journey. It's easy to feel overwhelmed or down during these times. Tough times, but it's crucial to keep in mind that these challenges build your character and resilience. When you look back on your journey, it's usually the struggles that really stand out as key moments that taught you important lessons. Plus, everyone sees these challenges differently. What might seem like a small hiccup to one person can feel huge to someone else. This idea that everyone's perspective is unique just shows that your journey is yours alone. No one else can truly grasp your experiences, feelings, and how you react to things. It's really important to let yourself feel and deal with your emotions without needing others to validate them. When you acknowledge how you feel, it can help you understand yourself better and give you the strength to tackle challenges. Another big part of recognizing that your journey is personal is understanding that growth isn't a straight line. There will be ups and downs, progress and setbacks. Accepting that growth can be messy is crucial for keeping a healthy outlook on your situation. Just because you can't see progress right away doesn't mean you're not making strides. Some of the biggest changes happen in those quiet times when it feels like nothing's happening. Patience is super important as you learn to trust your journey, knowing that every little step counts. Plus, comparing yourself to others can be really harmful. With social media everywhere, it's easy to get caught up in that trap. Comparing our lives to others can be tempting, but it's really important to remember that everyone has their own journey with their own ups and downs. What you see on social media is usually just the highlights, making it seem like everyone else has it all together, which can make you feel less than. Instead of measuring yourself against others, focus on your own path. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and remember that you're right where you need to be. You got to accept yourself. That's a big part of realizing that your journey is your own. It's super important to embrace who you are, including both your strengths and your flaws. Accepting yourself means recognizing that you have your own skills, passions, and dreams that make you one of a kind. When you accept yourself, you're more likely to chase your goals in a real way without stressing about what others expect from you. Your journey turns into pursuing what you truly want instead of just fitting into what society thinks you should do. It's totally okay to ask for help along the way. Even though your journey is personal, you don't have to go it alone. Leaning on friends, family, mentors, or even getting professional advice can really help you out. Sometimes, just talking about what you're going through with others can give you fresh insights and help you through tough spots. The relationships you build with people on your journey can make it way more meaningful and remind you that you're not alone in this. On a personal level, it's really a shared human experience. Another big part of your own journey is figuring out your goals. In a world that often pushes us to fit into certain ideas of success, it's super important to define what success means to you. Your goals should reflect your values, passions, and dreams, not just what society tells you. By setting your own goals, you'll have a roadmap that truly speaks to you, and this personal compass will help guide you along the way. Every step you take matters and feels rewarding. Embracing your personal journey helps you see the beauty in diversity and human experiences. Each person you meet has their own unique story, full of challenges, victories, and lessons learned. When you acknowledge your own journey, you start to appreciate what others go through too. This understanding builds empathy and compassion, letting you connect with people on a deeper level. At the end of the day, it's super important to celebrate the milestones you hit along the way. Acknowledging and appreciating your achievements, even the tiny ones, really helps boost your confidence and keep you motivated. Every step you take shows your strength and determination. So take a moment to celebrate how far you've come and reflect on the lessons you've learned. This not only lifts your spirits, but also reminds you that your journey is meaningful and worth it. In short, your journey matters. A personal journey packed with unique experiences, challenges, and victories. Embracing your own path helps you build self-acceptance, resilience, and authenticity. It's totally normal to face difficulties and compare yourself to others, but keep in mind that everyone's journey is different. Celebrate how far you've come, ask for support when you need it, and take pride in the growth that comes from following your own path. In the end, your journey shows your strength and reflects who you are. Who you really are